The big challenge I have with the Eisenhower Matrix, people say, do what's urgent, important rather than urgent. The challenge lies with how do you know what is important and what is not? And I think that comes with a lot of maturity, with a lot of experience. And one of the things I want to share with our clients and our listeners out there is that sometimes you do not know what's important because what's important to you may not be important to your boss.
Yep.
And you may think it's important, but so my case, once when I left Shell to join GE Plastics, this is my favorite story. I was in Shell we always go on a volume game because when you're selling oil, you go by the tons. You don't care about margins because margins will come. But when I joined GE Plastics, it was the other way around, and I was trying to push for volumes, but the boss told me, no, that's not what you want to do. You want to be able to have fat margins because that's what the value add is for engineering thermoplastics.
The quality of earnings.
Yeah. So I thought that it was important to have something that was important to me. I was focusing on it, but it was not important to the boss.
Yes.
I think that was dangerous. So if you're in doubt, ask. But I think after a while, you get a feel of it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I haven't done this in a while, so okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a long-lost episode of Career Success with Adrian and Yen. Long-lost because we haven't done this in quite a while because we've been so busy, but we're back.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. My name is Adrian and I'm the CEO and founder of Career Agility International. And together with me is Yen, our Executive Director and co-founder.
Hi everyone, happy Friday.
Yeah, in case this is the first time you're listening to us, we are Career Agility International. We've been around since 2018 and of course we've been around way before that as well. And we help individuals like you.
Because we've been alive for a long time. After listening to your introduction going,
we've been around for a very long
while,
time.
Yeah.
Okay, and we help individuals like yourself to achieve career success, career happiness, and most importantly, career longevity.
Yes, if you have any career problems, you should listen to us because we cover all sorts of issues and we're here to support you in your journey. If you have any questions, reach out to us, info@careeragility.org.
In fact, even if you don't have any questions or any career problems right now, congratulations, you must be doing exceptionally well. I'm very happy for you. In that case, just listen to us anyway because we are entertaining.
Yeah, right.
And today, I want to put Yen in the hot seat.
No.
Yes, because she recently wrote an article, which was quite interesting and enlightening. And every month she has a newsletter encouraging us to be sharper at what we do, more focused, and more effective at our job. So today I wanted to ask her a very, very interesting question.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Are we working on the right problems? Okay.
So
what do you mean by what do you mean by that? Because we were having a discussion last week and you were telling me about, a lot of times we are not working on the right problems.
Yeah, because a lot of us are busy firefighting or we're just busy for business sake. Sometimes it's intentional. We want to look busy because optics matter. Or sometimes it's about firefighting because so many things are happening at once. We can't get ahead of the curve. And it's important that we focus on the right problems so that we can prioritize and have, I guess, better streamlining, a better life down the road, a better career life down the road. So if you're too busy firefighting, sometimes you put out one and then another one comes up and then you put out that one and then you're not really actually meeting your KPIs or you're not really making any progress. You're just putting out fires left, right and center, but you're stuck in
a lot of jobs are just firefighting, It's like, especially if you're in an operational job.
Can you imagine, if I'm paid to do firefighting, that's great. But what am I measured on? Am I making any progress? Or is it going to be like this for the rest of my life? It's like running on a treadmill or going up the down escalator.
And you're not making any progress.
And not only am I not making any progress, but I continue to be branded and I'm stuck doing those things. And I'm not sure if it brings you joy. I mean, if it brings you joy, by all means, put out fires. But no, figurative fires, please.
I think one of the things to note as well when we talk about, are you working on the right problems, is sometimes firefighting is par for the course in your job.
Yes.
The problem is sometimes the fire was not started by you.
Or you're putting out other people's
fires, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem as well. So what do you do if the fires that you're asked to put out is someone else generating the fire?
You know what? I just had an image pop into my brain. of a certain amount of gas coming out from the rear end, and then you like the methane, and then there's fire, and it's not started by you, it's someone
That's
else's
the Jim
fire.
Carrey, yes, the methane fire trick.
Sorry guys, it's a Friday. I've had 2 cups of coffee, and it is
No, but
funny.
seriously, what do you do if the fire you're fighting is not yours, it's someone else's fire? Do you just let it burn out of control and let the other guy burn as well?
Context matters, and in this case, it really depends.
Okay, let's tell the guy, stop it, you idiot.
You could do that, or you could leave it to be a strategic failure and claim.
What's a strategic failure?
It's where you let something slide, just to show that this is important. Please, don't just leave me to keep an eye on it. Other people must help because it's important enough. If it's not important enough, then we'll just let it burn until it's done. If it's done, then it doesn't matter. Then we'll leave it to turn into ash, and then we'll just sweep it away. So certain fires are important, certain fires are not. I think it's important for other people to know as well that that's why you engineer something like a failure. No, one of the things I learned is sometimes if you I know this sounds terrible, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like sometimes if you ignore a problem, it goes away.
Yeah.
Right? And so
that's my maxim in life, and that's why I procrastinate.
wait. Procrastination is a very different thing. Now, we all procrastinate because it's something we don't want to do. We plan the procrastination for those of us that are very organized. But avoiding a problem is not procrastination, by the way. It's not. It isn't. We can go down this entire psychological discussion. But so back to the original gist of my article. The reason why I talked about it is because sometimes we're so busy and things keep changing every day, and you're just trying to stay afloat. But you're not really making any progress in meeting your own KPIs, or let's not talk about meeting KPIs. We want to exceed those KPIs, or we want to create strategic value so that we have a lot more longevity to our leaders and the people who look to us to help navigate an uncertain future. So that's the gist of it, really. So putting out fires might be important and par for the course, as you mentioned, but it's not always going to help you meet or exceed your own personal KPIs.
So how then do you know what exactly is the right problem to have? I mean, to fix in general, because
it depends on the context.
If you have lots of stuff happening, so the firefighting issue to me reminds me of the whack-a-mole game.
Yeah.
You whack one, you solve one, another pops up. You whack another one, another one pops up.
I don't know if our Gen Z listeners or younger listeners know what it is. It's like one of those carnival games, and there's this mechanical mole that pops up, and you carry a mallet.
Animal abuse.
And I think it's a good test for your reaction, right? It's like a reaction test, and a mole pops
but each
up.
time you solve a problem, the other one pops up. And
Yeah.
And
What we need to do is plug those holes.
Yeah, actually, you're right. So I think the other thing that's interesting as well is, the old Eisenhower Matrix, important versus urgent. Can you tell us a bit more about that? What's your take?
My take was it was always Stephen Covey, right? Or anyway, let's just be practical about it. We've got to focus on what's urgent and important, as well as what may not be so urgent but is still important, because if you're doing something strategic, then there's a lot more life, there's a lot more runway, there's a lot more productivity and a lot more progress. But if you just focus on the urgent things and you're just busy putting out fires, there's this 4-quadrant matrix with the urgent and the important, and the not urgent and the not important. Obviously, we will leave that for a later time. So I guess it's for prioritization's sake. Yeah.
Have you always been practicing that?
Even
in school.
Yeah. I think it helps, right? If you have like 300 assignments, obviously you got to focus on the one that's going to give you the majority of your points. I mean, if it's a 60% assignment, I'm going to focus on it rather than a 20% assignment. Right?
That's true.
Right?
That's true. There's a certain strategy
if
to it,
I
right?
only have 8 hours in the day, I don't know. Sometimes it's instinctive, right? Because it also depends on the kind of teacher you get or the kind of punishment. Because as human beings, we react to failure. And pain, I guess.
And we're animals, so it's like very Pavlovian.
So sometimes there's a carrot at the end of it, and we know that, if I do this assignment well, it's going to give me the maximum for my credit. But if I don't do this assignment well, I'm going to get the penalty from my favorite teacher, and it could be a problem. So
see, the big challenge I have with the Eisenhower Matrix, people say, do what's urgent, important rather than urgent.
Important and urgent.
Important and urgent, but ultimately you prioritize the important over the urgent, lah. So the challenge lies with how do you know what is important and what is not. And I think that comes with a lot of maturity, with a lot of experience. And one of the things I want to share with our clients and our listeners out there is that sometimes you do not know what's important because what's important to you may not be important to your boss.
Yep.
And you may think it's important, but so my case, once when I left Shell to join GE Plastics, this is my favorite story. I was in Shell we always go on a volume game because when you're selling oil, you go by the tons. You don't care about margins because margins will come. But when I joined GE Plastics, it was the other way around, and I was trying to push for volumes, but the boss told me, no, that's not what you want to do. You want to be able to have fat margins because that's what the value add is for engineering thermoplastics.
The quality of earnings.
Yeah. So I thought that it was important to have something that was important to me. I was focusing on it, but it was not important to the boss.
Yes.
I think that was dangerous. So if you're in doubt, ask. But I think after a while, you get a feel of it.
It's your industry, it's your domain. If at this point in your career you don't know what's important, then I can't help you.
Yeah. But sometimes you're in a new industry. Just ask, right? So just ask the boss, what do you want me to focus on, right?
I think you can ask, but at the same time, I think it's also how you ask and how many times you ask.
Yeah.
Because too often, and people would probably get a little bit annoyed. What did I pay you for?
I mean, it's like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? I'm a bit silly on that, right?
So many variables.
Yeah.
I don't want to say and be definitive about it. But yeah, certainly got to figure out what's urgent and important and not just fix all the moles that keep popping up. Yeah. You got to go to the source of the problem. It's kind of like termites. I mean, you see the termite, right? You got to get to the nest of the termites and not just...
No, you got to get to the queen. Blow the queen up. No, this is the theme of Aliens, yeah. Anyway, and I think the other thing we need to look at as well is, for me, I have a very short attention span. You know me, right? I'm such a squirrel, right? It's like,
you like to go like, oh, that's a fun idea. Let's pursue it. And let's try that. And then we have to like have a discussion around like, wait. We only have 6 weeks left to the year or something. And you go like, wait, let's focus on what's going to move the needle.
Yeah.
Or let's focus on the big picture and things like that. Yeah,
that's one of my problems I've had all along because I like doing side projects. I like doing exciting, fun stuff rather than the important stuff.
But credit where it's due. You tend to do that on your own time as well.
Yeah, but that's only because you whip me back into the straight and narrow. It's like
half the time in our meetings, I'm always going like, wait, can we fix this one first? We need to do this, and then we make him work on Zoom so that we have 3 of us watching him complete the task that needs to be completed.
That's so unfortunate. It's like mommy and daddy looking at you do your homework because they know you're gonna run out and play with your friends.
Yeah.
So I think it's sometimes important to do what is necessary rather than what is fun and prioritize what is necessary and important.
In the world of job search, and this is a great analogy for those of you who are in job search mode. A lot of people think, I'll just apply and I'll just have one resume. They fail to realize that what's important is to target the role, to create a more targeted resume and to work on your campaign. Not just, there's a job, let's apply. And there's a discipline to it. Every week that passes, you have to do 2 to 3 things that will help you with your job search. So it could be a job application, it could be a network, it could be a meeting with somebody who's going to give you the information that you need to be better during the interview, things like that. So a lot of people forget that you have to work on the boring discipline part of it before you get any major progress or any success. So the boring work is the foundation to helping you generate luck. So don't just go for the interesting things. Do the actual homework that's going to help you to progress. And
if you don't like doing the actual homework, you get someone else who can do it for you or do it with you, like for us.
I'm not going to do your resume for you.
Yeah.
The resume is your job.
No, I know. In terms of having a business partner, and to your point, if you really don't like to do the formatting of the CV, or
you can outsource it.
You can outsource it to us, or even to ChatGPT.
Yes.
So there are things that you can do, but focus on what's important. Rather than get distracted. So basically, don't get distracted by the fun stuff because ultimately, it's going to be, like what you said, you only have 8 hours a day or less.
Yeah.
And you want to be as effective as you can.
We're already doing fun stuff on our own time, like gaming, or baking, or painting.
Sleeping.
Sleeping.
For you, it's Osim chair. Yes. One of the other things we want to talk about as well, in terms of are you working on the right problems, is sometimes we are so focused on the operational that we are not focused on the strategic. So the example is, you're handling, even in sales, you're handling all the operational bits of sales delivery and everything, but
You forget to build new pipelines.
and you don't do it. And unfortunately, when the projects are out, then suddenly you realize you're dry.
Yes.
And sales pipelines take time.
Yeah,
to
so
build.
there's a constant discipline of doing business development, which is very similar to job search.
Which is true.
So it's again,
is true.
people focus on beautifying the resumes. They forget that the networking is actually more important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the other way around as well. You're doing so much of the strategic stuff. I want to do this, I want to do that.
And there's no delivery.
There's no delivery.
So
there's
there's no tangible outcomes to achieve.
And it's tough because ultimately it's going to be a bit of both. You need to know when to measure, when to focus your time. And it could be different seasons. Like for instance, in the last final quarter of the year, if you're in job hunting mode, your key activity here should not be about, updating your CV every day in case the right job comes along, which may not, because end of the year, last quarter is normally a quieter period. You should be networking, you should be talking to people out there. And that's the strategic piece rather than just working on the operation.
Or sometimes people get paralyzed by the amount of information that's on LinkedIn. So, they go on LinkedIn, they go, okay, I'm going to do a job search on LinkedIn. And then they go into the job search, then they go down this rabbit hole. And then before you know it, they're stuck in the humble bragging homepage.
Yes.
And or they're paralyzed because they got distracted, by something fun and something shiny. So you got to stay the course. Yeah.
So it's important on that. And, how much time you want to spend on being operational versus strategic.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, once again, a lot of it comes from experience, a lot comes from wisdom.
Yeah.
And if you're stuck, especially if you're in a job search mode, you come talk to us because we can provide you a different perspective and we can knock you back onto the straight and narrow if necessary.
Yeah. So in the article that, or my monthly newsletters that I write, I focus on small things that can help make your life easier, small things that can help adjust you and course correct so that you can stay, because again, a lot of the things that we talk about, I think our listeners know, but it's worthwhile to kind of just be reminded once in a while, because sometimes we get so into something that we forget that we have to focus on the strategic as well. So one of the things that I wanted to highlight is that, yes, you have to pick your battles. You don't want to fight every battle. Some hills are not worth dying on.
Tell me, what do you mean by that? Because you often say that to me, pick your battles.
Yeah, pick your battles. Some battles are just not worth winning, because when you win that battle, you might lose the war. So you want to focus on the bigger picture. I'm thinking of an example, but right now off the top of my head, after 2 coffees, again, it's very contextual. And there are certain battles, sometimes you get a boost because you beat your frenemy in the office.
Or your boss.
Or your boss,
you argue
showed
and win
him up.
Yeah, I showed him.
Or there was a minor victory over something, the choice of the food item or the coffee choice or something small like that, which could, inadvertently cause you some friction later down, and you never knew what hit you, but suddenly the guy never chose you for the project because you didn't realize you stepped on someone's toes, for instance.
And I think that if you want to win every battle that you have, are you going to come across being extremely unlikable?
I'm just thinking, because I've been driving a lot lately. This last couple of days, I've been driving a lot. So, how there are some people who just really are in a hurry and they overtake you from the left. And I'm just, going at speed limit, and they overtake you from the left only to get stuck. And I'll be like, it's not worth that battle, for that person.
Or they speed up and they honk you and they go, and then there's a traffic light.
And
then they stop. Then you drive alongside, you give them a very judgmental look.
That's you.
Oh, that's me. Yes, that's me. So I think you got to pick your battles. Sometimes you may win, but you end up losing. So
and again, play the long game. I think that's what I'm here to say. Focus on winning and long game.
So in conclusion, if you are wanting to become more effective at what you do, you have to pick your battles, like what you said. You got to make sure that the battles you pick are the urgent and important ones.
Don't get distracted by shiny new projects.
I know you're telling that to me.
New sparkly diamonds.
Yes, fun projects. And one thing about fun projects as well, sometimes the CEO or the boss, comes up with a fun idea, and it's a dumb idea.
Yeah.
And then it starts making people.
You cannot tell him no.
Yeah, correct.
Because
So
he's got more power than you.
yes, so you have to be strategic about it. Come talk to us if you're in that situation, and don't just blindly do work for work's sake. I guess.
Yeah.
Just be strategic about it.
Yeah. There are many ways. I mean, I've worked with clients who are so busy trying to put out fires, attend so many meetings. And then we worked with individuals like that to help them to kind of like get control over all that firefighting. Maybe there's a better workflow that they can do in the background to RPA the firefighting.
Okay.
Or they can automate certain things. But it takes insight. It takes a moment, sort of take a step back and kind of look at everything as a whole and go, okay, how do I get control of this? Or how do I get ahead of this monster? So come talk to us if you have any questions about that.
And in the meantime, keep coming, carry on.